Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect. Give me a sec. Hold up, guys. Where's the echo coming from? Give me a sec. Let me go to my main camera. There we go. Already, hold up, guys. There we go. Let's mute that up. Okay, perfect. Let me go ahead and open my phone, my stream on my phone as well to check if it's going well. Guys, I should have done this before I started the stream. That should give you a quick second, guys. Okay, let's go to lives. Okay, what about that? Hold up, guys. Give me a sec. Okay, guys, where are my streams at? Okay, can you guys even like see my streams up? Okay, can't open them. Okay, let's just zoom in a bit. Okay, am I audible, guys? There we go. So the horizontal stream is going good. What about the vertical stream? Isn't that not going good? Okay. Give me a sec, guys. Let me just forward that up real quick. There we go. Okay, let's check. That's my horizontal stream. Guys, I can't even see my vertical streams as chats. Okay, that's it. Let's go ahead and close that up. Guys, I feel like it's so complicating multi-streaming. Okay, that's it. Give me a sec. There we go. Okay, got it here. Let's go ahead and open that on my tablet as well, because I do like read my chats. I used to read my chats from my third monitor. That said, I didn't move on to like reading it from my tablet. Okay, let's extend that up. Okay, I think that should be good. So let's cancel that up. Okay, chat filter. Okay, perfect. I think that's pretty much it. Hold up, guys. Give me another second. Let's do that. Okay. Guys, I should have actually done this before starting the stream. Okay, you guys know what? I think that's pretty good. I stopped. I appreciate you, Adam. That actually means the word to me, guys. Okay, that said, I think this should be pretty good. Let's just go here. Where's the chat panel, guys? There we go. Okay, that said, we're live, and as you guys can tell by the title and thumbnail, today I'm going to be working on object-oriented programming. I'm going to be like, this is like the finale. I was gonna go over SDL this stream. That said, I couldn't like figure out how to install Visual Code plus SDL in it. That said, let me go to my main camera. Do you play Roblox? Honestly, I used to play Roblox. Okay, that said, let me go to my main camera. Okay, perfect. Let's say something like, let's say, I'm live, exclamation. Guys, I'll figure this out next stream. I gotta read the chats. How doing, Bartha, is that how you pronounce your name? I appreciate you joining this stream. That's it, listen up people and everyone watching. In this stream, the day has come, the final trial of object-oriented programming. Today, we don't just code, we conquer every concept, every keyword, every sleepless night, debugging constructors that refuse to behave. It all leads here. This is where we sharpen the blade of logic, polish the armor of syntax, and march through the battlefield of inheritance and polymorphism without any fear. Okay, as the great Barge, is that how you pronounce his name? Starsterb, the father of C++, said, oh my gosh, guys, I think I should have known this word. Or the pronunciation. Programming is understanding, and today this pupil of mine will understand everything that object-oriented programming dares to offer. Okay, now let's begin. The final object-oriented programming arc, guys. This is the ending of me learning object-oriented programming, because now, since I'm really close to reaching the day 50, I think like next is going to be my day 50. Okay, I think yeah, tomorrow is my programming for 250 days, day 50 days series. That said, I am going to be working on, SDL, and trying to actually make 2D games in C++. That said, the first warm-up, mini project 1, and today I'm not doing instruction-based questions. Instead, I am going through mini projects. The blueprint of heroes, I gotta create a hero class that has private data members, name, level, and power, so we're going to be using those. A constructor to initialize terms. You look like Lamine Yamal. Guys, I did that so much. I did like search up who Yamil Yamal is. Apparently, they said he's a Mexican soccer player, guys. I don't think I will look anything alike except the curly hair. Okay, that said, maybe can I like push my camera a little back? There we go, because I don't think I was like being seen whole. Okay, I think that's much better. Okay, I gotta have a destructor that prints when a hero is destroyed. I gotta create a getter and setter for each data member, a method called display status that prints heroes' info. Then in our main function, I gotta create 3 heroes and display their stats. That said, let's get Sensei/ChatGPT here. Maybe just zoom it a little out here. There we go. And guys, I still didn't purchase the window key for like my new PC that I got, so I do gotta work on that as well. That said, for the time being, I am kind of prioritizing my chats up here. Let me just shrink that chat a little there so like I can see the chats. There we go. Okay, let's zoom in a bit from here as well. Guys, this I am taking my second monitor, so you guys can't actually see that because that's where all the back stuff happens. Okay, that said, let's go ahead and zoom my horizontal ones as well, right there. Okay, perfect. Now let's go ahead and extend that a little from the bottom. Okay, there we go. Okay, next up, let's read the instructions. So the instruction says to create a class, and guys, this is the code from the previous stream because I didn't have time working on the stream. I didn't have time working on anything off stream except trying to install STL. That said, why are you going C++? Honestly, I do like have a 100-day series where I learned C++. That said, let me start off by including a pair of ankle braces. I want to include IO stream. Okay, and then let's scroll all the way down. Now I'll read the instructions. So the instruction says to create a hero class that has a private data member called name, level, and power. So I'm gonna go ahead and create a class called hero. So I create a hero class with a pair of curly braces. Now my hero class is gonna be have a few private data members, okay? And then I'm going to be setting, let's say the few private data members to be, did I spell it correct? There we go. Okay, now the first data member is going to be, let's say something like name. So I'm going to be creating a standard strings data member called name ending with a semicolon. And the second one is going to be an integer of level. Let me go ahead and end that with a semicolon as well. And an integer of health. I'll end that with a semicolon as well. Next up, let's go ahead and publicalize everything. So I'll go with something like public, add a comment, and honestly, I'll create a constructor. So let's go ahead and create a constructor for our hero class, and my hero class is going to be requiring 3 parameters. The first parameter is going to be a standard string of name. The second parameter is going to be integer of level. Let me just zoom out a bit. There we go. And the third parameter is going to be an integer of health. And then I'll add a pair of curly braces to initialize my data members. So I'm going to do something like this. Use a arrow operator, point towards my name data member is going to be equal to my name parameter ending with a semicolon. Hey little bro, how are you doing, Bulu? I appreciate you joining the stream. Have you looked into error lengths or practicing types? Honestly, I haven't looked into that. That's it. Once I do start SDL, I will be using Visual Code instead of Visual Code Studio. That's where I do think there are only inbuilt debuggers and all those stuff. That said, is this Google collab? Honestly, this is just me learning C++. That said, let's go ahead and initialize my, let's say, level data member as well. So I'll go with this level data member equals to my level parameter ending with a semicolon. And then I'll go with something like this health data member equals to my health parameter ending with a semicolon. Okay, and then let's read the next instruction. So I gotta create a destructor that prints when a hero is destroyed. Okay, so now let's go ahead and create another comment called Destructor. Okay, now for my Destructor, I'm going to be using the tilde operator, which is some of this like the wiggly sign or something, and then call my hero class. So this is basically considered a destructor for my hero class, which is going to display something. So I'll go with a pair of curly braces that says something that prints when hero is destroyed. So I'm going to be having a standard console output with an insertion operator that says something like hero is destroyed. There we go. How do you learn C++? Is it good if I only watch the bro code course? Honestly, I did like watch bro code as well. I think like, yeah, it's really helpful. Although the way I did actually learn C++ was using ChatGPT/Sensei. Because like I prefer, like I realized that the way I learned the best is like by doing a lot of practice questions. It honestly depends. Some of you guys do prefer watching tutorials and learning as well. It just depends on the preference and the way that works the best. I would recommend you guys to like try both ways, using AI and using like tutorials, YouTube videos, or like an actual bot course. Whichever suits you guys the best, you guys could like go with that. That said, I figured out that the way I learn the best is like by doing a lot of practice questions, guys. Okay, next up, let's go ahead and read the next instruction. Now I gotta create getters and setters. So firstly, let's create my setters. So I'll add a comment that says something like setters. Okay, now for my setters, let's see. I'm going to create, let's say something like a void setter called something like set name. I'll add a pair of parentheses. My set name setter is going to be having a parameter, which is going to be a standard string of name. Okay, and then I'm gonna go with something like a pair of curly braces. Now I'm gonna do something inside my setter. I'm gonna be, let's say, should I add an if statement? It's been a while since I went with setters. So for name, I could just do something like my name data member equals to my name parameters. So let's do something like my name data member is gonna be equal to my name parameter ending with a semicolon. Okay, and then let's go ahead and create another void setter for my level. So I'm gonna go with something like set level and then another pair of parentheses. My set level setter is gonna be having a parameter of, let's say, level. I'll go with something like level. Okay, and then I'll go with a pair of curly braces and go with something like this level data member equals to my level parameter ending with a semicolon. And then lastly, I'm gonna go ahead and create a void set health data member. So there we go. Okay, then another pair of parentheses, my set health data member is gonna be having a parameter of health as well, which is gonna be an integer. And then I'll go with a pair of curly braces. Howdy JCast, I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, that said, now instead of just setting something like this level equals to my level data member, I am going to be, let's say, adding an if statement. So I'll go with something like if a pair of parentheses, if my, let's say, health data member, could I go with something like this health? If my this health data member is greater than or equal to 0, so maybe I do with greater than or equal to 0. Okay, then I'm going to do something. I'll go with the pair of curly braces and set my health data member. So I'll go with something like this, a arrow operator of my health data member that is going to be equal to my health parameter ending with a semicolon. In the other hand, if my health is less than 0 in negative, this is not going to count. Okay, that's pretty much it for my setters. Now let's go ahead and create getters. Setters is basically when you like set something for like for example, I have a few private data members, other classes or like anyone outside my class, they can have access to my private data members, although they can have access to it using these setters, because like actually using the getters and setters, these setters basically gets an individual value for them, and I can access these setters as a value using my getters, if that made any sense, guys. I feel like I made that sound way too vague. That said, I'm going to be creating an integer of something like a get name getter with a pair of parentheses. My get name getter is not going to be having a parameter, although it is going to be returning, let's say, my name data member ending with a semicolon. Okay, I might actually need a parameter. Would I need a parameter here? Let's think. Oh, this is going to be standard string. My bad, guys. Guys, I used to make this mistake so much back when I first started like learning about getters and setters, or like in general the data types. I'm so used to typing integer and the method name because I always use integers. That said, my name is a standard string, so this is going to be a standard string. Do you just use ChatGPT to learn? Honestly, yeah, I feel like ChatGPT has been really helpful for me ever since I did start programming. I feel ChatGPT was one of the best resources that I used. Actually, in general, yeah, I do use ChatGPT way too much when it even comes to like learning my college stuff and everything. It's a really good learning resource, guys. Okay, LETTS score, LETTS score. Honestly, I haven't like heard of that. Okay, that said, let's go ahead now create another getter. This time I'm going to be creating a getter for my level. So I'm going to do something like get level with a pair of parentheses and a pair of curly braces. And I'm going to return my level data member. So I'll go ahead and return my level data member ending with a semicolon. And lastly, I'm going to be creating another getter. I don't think I need a space here. There we go. Okay, I'm going to create a getter for my health. So I'm going to go with something like get health with a pair of parentheses and then a pair of curly braces that returns my health data member. Ending with a semicolon. Okay, it's very helpful to learn C++ again. It's been some time. I had a project on C++. Actually sounds pretty cool. I feel like C++ is like pretty fun when it comes to learning. I don't think he's from Punjab. Guys, I actually haven't been to India. That said, I am pretty excited someday to visit India. I might actually stream myself there. Okay, next up, let's go ahead and create methods. So I'm going to go ahead and create methods now. For methods, I got to create a display stats method that prints the heroes' info. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a void method called something like display stats. So I'm going to go with something like display stats with a pair of parentheses and then a pair of curly braces that prints heroes' info. So I could go with like a standard console output with an insertion operator that is going to say something like name is going to be my hero's name. So I'll go with another insertion operator of my name data member and then I'll go with maybe something like a / new line. Okay, and then I'll add another insertion operator. Let's say for my level, this is going to be my heroes' level with another insertion operator of my level data member, and then I'll add another / new line to like get access to a new line. And lastly, I'm gonna go with something like my health. How much health does my hero have? And then I'll go with another insertion operator for my health data member with a / new line ending with a semicolon. Okay, that's pretty much it for my method as well. And that's pretty much it for my entire class. So I'm gonna go ahead and end my class with a semicolon. Now let's go ahead and create a main function. So I'll go with something like integer main, add a pair of parentheses, and then a pair of curly braces. Now inside of my main function, I'm gonna do something. Are you in college or CS? Are you in college for computer science? Honestly, I did start college. That's it. I haven't like taken any programming courses yet because I am I am like a freshman and I'm like going through like the regular courses before I do take programming courses. That said, I'm going to be let's say creating an object here for my hero class. So I'm going to create a hero object with a pair of parentheses. My hero object requires 3 parameters. The first is going to be name. I don't know, maybe my hero's name is going to be something like Tom. And Tom is level 50. Tom has 200 HP. Ending with a semicolon. Okay, do you know C#? I need help with a script for running and reading some comments. It's booty. Honestly, guys, I haven't actually started C# yet because like I do know just 2 languages like Python and C++. That's it. I am eventually planning to learn C#, even like JavaScript and all that. Okay, that's it. How are you doing for AYO? Is that how you pronounce your name? I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, that said, create 3 heroes and display their stats. Okay, so I gotta create 3 heroes. So let me go ahead and copy that. Let's go ahead and paste it here and paste it one more time. I'm gonna be changing Tom to something like Sarah and Tom to something like David. Okay, okay, now Sarah has, let's say, 80 HP and something like, actually 80 level and 500 HP. David has something like, David is level 20 and David has 100 HP. Okay, now let's go ahead and do something like, let's change that to hero 1. That's gonna be hero 2, hero 3. Okay, now I'm gonna do something like hero1.display stats. I'm gonna display my hero's stats ending with a semicolon. And then I'll go with something like hero2.display stats. I'm gonna display the stats for my second hero as well, ending with a semicolon. Lastly, I'll go with something like hero3.display stats with a pair of parentheses ending with a semicolon. Okay, and lastly, let's go ahead and return 0. Okay, although before I do save, before I do save the code and run the command, I just realized I have getters and setters. So instead of accessing my actual data members, I could go ahead and access my getters. So I'm going to go with something like get name with a pair of parentheses. That gives me access to my get names as getter. And then I'll go with something like get level with a pair of parentheses. Lastly, I'll go with something like get health. Okay, with a pair of parentheses as well. Now, if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. Okay, hey there, should I call you Mr.? Honestly, guys, I feel like Mr. is way too luxurious of a name for me, guys. That said, it does sound pretty cool, though. That said, what's your final goal, bro? Honestly, my final goal by the end of my programming for 258 series is to make a game in general, which consists of AI logic in it. That said, after this, can we make a PSI script for this? Honestly, I haven't like heard of PSI script. Bro, act normal, speak normally, it looks gayish. Guys, I feel like this is my normal menu. If you guys do say it does sound pretty zesty. That's it, guys, I'm actually not zesty. I am actually straight. That's it, I'll go with the controller. Control C, copy that, get sensei/ChatGPT here. Maybe extend that a bit. Guys, I should like get a Windows key ASAP. Okay, let's go ahead and maybe zoom in a bit. Okay, now let's go ahead and paste this. Go with Shift Enter and say something like, Sensei, this was a good refresher, but can we add let's say inheritance as well, question mark. I do want to add inheritance as well. Having Lobster, I appreciate you joining the script. Python scripts equals PSI. I do honestly have like a Python script. Like by the end of my Python for 100-day series, I did make a game in general using Pygame, which was like 470 lines of code. That's it. It did have like a lot of content in it. That game is honestly pretty like fun, I feel. Okay, how are you doing, Bateston? Is that how you pronounce your name? I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, people, you dare ask for inheritance already? Then you shall have it. You've proven that your foundation is solid, your class structure is neat, your getters and setters are disciplined. But before I hand out praise, smart correction, the method name display status. Your poor heroes can't display anything if you tie their tongues with typos. Okay, it's spelled as display status, guys. My whatchamacallit, I gotta fix my whatchamacallit spellings. I get way too many typos. That said, this is the soul of programming. Now to elevate this exercise into the realm of inheritance, here's your mission. Mini project number 2, the lineage of heroes. You now introduce inheritance to your world, so my instruction is keep your hero class. Let me say something like, Sensei, I want to write it from scratch. Can you like just say me to create a project that needs a certain amount of content? I can try it that way, ... Okay. Oh, that's fun. Nice, good job, man. I appreciate you, Mason. Okay, Sensei, indeed, guys. I feel like Sensei has been, really helpful. That said, you sound gayish, faking the accent. Okay, with your original South accent is good and manly. Don't be insecure, guys. I actually can't even, like, many of you guys do say it, but I do have like a bot. I think it's getting close to like about 200 streams in my channel. Like, if you guys go to any stream, this is how I actually do speak. Cause like, if I do like, I don't even know how to like, how to like speak in any other accent. I am learning an Italian accent, guys, but I don't know much about that. Okay, so obviously you watch anime. Have you watched One Piece? Honestly, I did watch One Piece. That's a nice typing. I appreciate you, Bateson. That actually means the world to me, guys. That said, I gotta create a project called the Guild of Legends. You will create a small world, a system that manages different types of heroes, so we'll need multiple classes. I will not hand you the structure. You will decide how to build it, but your project must include the following elements. At least one base class, for example, hero, character, entity, at least 2 derived classes that inherit from it, each with unique attributes or abilities. Constructor and Destructor in every class. Make sure they show when each object is created and destroyed. At least one getter and setter in the base class. Method overriding. Okay, these are the new contents, guys. In the derived class, one shared function that behaves different for each type. Use access specifiers properly. Okay, private data, private, protected, some with protected, and expose some through public. Finally, use polymorphism. For example, base class pointer calling derived class method. Optional if you want bonus respect from Sensei. Add a vector of base class pointers to store multiple dynamic stuff. Okay, maybe user input as well. That actually sounds pretty fun. Okay, your channel is phenomenal. I appreciate you. Yes, that actually means the world to me, guys. Hey, are you from South? Which state? Honestly, many of you guys did say me to avoid saying that, because like I used to like say to you guys where I do live. That's it. Many of you guys did say it's kind of risky. Okay, it's fine. It's fine. Your accent is good. They're just racist idiots, and funnily enough, they don't even know that, guys. It actually does make sense. Brother, do you code for fun or ... Honestly, I do actually. For the time being, I feel like I am coding for fun and also for exploring different contents and different places, categories. Eventually, I'm going to stick to one category and start to be proficient in that one, but I'm trying to figure out which I enjoy the most. Okay, next up, let's get Sensei/ChatGPT here. Guys, it's always so tedious to like shrink ChatGPT after getting it to my second monitor. There we go. Okay, then let's go ahead and zoom out a bit. Okay, perfect. That said, let me go ahead and delete this code, and let's start off by including IO stream. I actually started with C++ in 2022, but in 2025 they're avoiding it. Don't know why. I feel like C++ is pretty good, honestly, guys. That's it. It is a pretty fun language as well. Python was really fun as well, but I feel C++ is like even like better. I can't wait to start assembly someday. I might stream myself with that. Okay, that said, I start off by including IO stream, and then let's see. So I gotta create at least one base class. So let's go ahead and create a base class called something like, I don't know, maybe entity. There we go. And then I'm going to be adding a pair of curly braces. Now inside of my entity class, I'm going to do something. Do you work or freelancing? Honestly, guys, I feel like I just like, actually I don't work or anything. That's the reason I do have like so much time in a day. Although I do have like time, just like I do study the most of the day, because I did start college as well, so I do have like a lot of exams, guys. So like if it's like I'm either streaming or I'm studying for my college stuff. Many of you guys do like mention me on Discord these days as well, although I don't have enough time to look at those things, but I do try looking at them like at the end of the night before I do sleep. That said, but in most of the mass hiring, it gets avoided like conquisite. and censure, etc. Is that I pronounce it, guys? I feel like my pronunciation is awful. Okay, that said, my entity class is going to be having a few protected data members. So I'll go with something like protected. Okay, let's see what all data members. I want all my, all my NPCs or all my objects to have a level data member. So I could go with something like integer of level ending with a semicolon. I want everyone to have a name as well. So I'll go with something like a standard string of name. And then I'll go with something like a integer of health, honestly. So I'll go with something like integer of health ending with a semicolon. And then let's go ahead and publicize everything. So, okay. Now, firstly, I'm going to be adding a comment for Constructor because I do want to create a Constructor for my entity class. That's it, guys. He has school soon. Stream.closed. Oh, guys, honestly, I don't have school. That's it. I do go to college. I am like a freshman in college. That said, let's go ahead and create a constructor for my entity class. So I'm going to go with something like entity, add a pair of parentheses. Now, my entity class is going to be requiring 3 parameters. The first is going to be integer of level parameter. The second is going to be integer of health parameter. And then let's go ahead and go to a new line and create a integer, actually a standard string of name parameter. These are the 3 parameters that my player does require to enter. Okay, are you working in Cognizant? Honestly, I haven't like heard of that. That said, guys, I'm actually not working. You guys could like call me jobless. That said, let's see. Hey, he's not minor, lol. Guys, I feel like I am like a minor for now, but like in a few months I am going to be an adult because I am currently 17 years old. That's it. This January 5th, I am going to be turning 18, guys. Okay, that said, I am pretty excited, although I don't think that I have any special plans for like a special stream for my 18th birthday. Okay, clean code, bro. Keep going. I appreciate you. Sarin, is that how I pronounce your name? That's it. Let's go ahead and initialize my data members now. So I'm gonna go with something like this level data member equals to my level parameter ending with a semicolon. And then something like this health data member equals to my health parameter ending with a semicolon as well. And then something like this name data member equals to my name parameter ending with a semicolon. Okay, next up, let's go ahead and create destructors now. So I'm gonna add a comment that says something like destructors, 253 live watching on vertical and 1 watching on long form. Okay, you're a legend. Honestly, I do appreciate you guys so much for that. That's it. I should have like, before I used to like stream a lot in like horizontal as well. That's it, because my mini PC couldn't handle all this, so I did stop and I just streamed in vertical. So many of you guys do think that I do just only vertically stream. That's it. I did like getting new PC. I will be uploading the building video really soon, guys. That said, once I do, upload that. Actually, once I did build my this PC, now I did start multi-streaming on Kick as well. I am trying to figure out how to stream on Twitch, because like apparently I can't get my stream key. I could get that before. Might have to get that like from my mini PC. That said, I did get like an actual PC, so now I did start multi-streaming, even like streaming horizontally and vertically. For like some of you guys did ask me to stream horizontally, because you guys do actually code with me, and vertical stream doesn't like show almost everything. Great going. I appreciate you, Zubin. Okay, that's it. Now for my destructors, I'm gonna go ahead and use the tilde operator. Let's create a destructor for my entity. There we go. With a pair of parentheses and then a pair of curly braces. Inside of my entity, I'm gonna go ahead and add a standard console output with an insertion operator that says something like entity. Okay, entity destructor call. There we go. Guys, it's almost so hard to like actually type without making mistakes while I talk. That's it. I will go with a / new line ending with a semicolon. Now, after my destructors, let's see what else would I need. I might need getters and setters. So let's add a comment that creates my setters first. So I'll go with something like setters. Okay, now for my setters, I'm going to be creating, let's say, a void method called something like set, let's say something like set name first. Then I'll go with a pair of parentheses and then a pair of curly braces. Actually, I feel like my set name is going to be something like a standard string. Okay, maybe excuse me guys, maybe I think it's void is pretty good. That said, brother, you don't even take a second to breathe while talking. Honestly, guys, I should like, start talking slowly, because many of you guys did say me to actually talk slowly because you guys can't understand what I say. That said, guys, I should start talking a bit slowly now. Okay, oh nice, I'm thinking of changing my company currently. It's been like 3.5 years in HCL Tech. How's the paycheck in Honestly, guys, that does sound pretty cool. Okay, so you dropped out of college, man. Guys, I'm actually still in college. I am a freshman. I do both stuff. Like, when I stream my program and I'm off stream, I work on my college stuff. That's it. Hi, hiding great guy. I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, next up, I'm gonna go ahead and add a parameter here, honestly. Let's go ahead and add a parameter of something like the standard string of name. So I'll go with standard string of name, okay? And inside of my setter, I'm gonna do something like this name data member. I'll go with something like this name data member equals to my name parameter ending with a semicolon. Let's go ahead and create another setter. So I'm gonna go ahead and create a setter for my level. With a pair of parentheses, my level is gonna have a integers parameter called something like level, and then I'll go with a pair of curly braces. Now I'm gonna do something like this: level data member equals to my level parameter ending with a semicolon, and lastly I'm gonna go ahead and create one for my health as well. So I'll go with something like set health. How old are you? Honestly, I am 17. That's it. I am gonna be turning 18 very soon, guys. I think like my birthday is this January 5th. That's it. How much they pay? Like, hey, it's like 10 LP it. Ooh, that actually does make sense. Okay, the terminates eating my wooden watch. What should I do? Terminates eating wooden watch. Guys, is there even something called like a wooden watch? I've honestly never seen that. That said, let's go with something like set health to setter. Now, for my setter, I'll add a pair of parentheses that does require a parameter of health. There we go. And then I'll add a pair of curly braces. Now, inside of my setter, I'm gonna do something. I'm going to be going with something like this health data member equals to my health parameter ending with a semicolon. This is going to be something like this. There we go. Okay, and that's honestly pretty much it for my setter. Now let's go ahead and create getters. The reason that I do create setters and getters is because I do have like a few protected data members that the classes that I'm inheriting from. Honestly, I actually wouldn't even need my setters and getters here, but I'm just doing it for practice because if I did have like private data members, that's when whatchamacallit, we do need setters and getters. Although protected, I think it's fine even if we use it like it's protected. Okay, you're so masculine. Guys, I feel like I stopped. Like, I used to be like, whatchamacallit, a brown belt. I think second degree in Kung Fu. That's when I stopped because like the streaming, my college stuff, it all became like too much for me. So I was like, guys, I don't have time in a day. That said, I might actually start, whatchamacallit, Kung Fu soon as well, guys. Okay, then why change? What's he... Okay, what he's up to, is he calling aliens? Aliens, guys. Okay, if wanna change, then shift into a non-mass hiring company. Oh, I see. Okay, that's it. I'm gonna be creating a standard string of, let's see, okay, want to upgrade, man. It's not enough with all the ME. M17 too. How long you have been coding? Honestly, I've been coding for like about 149 days in total because I did like spend like, whatchamacallit, just for my programming for 250 series. This is currently day 49. That's it. I did like have a Python for 100 days as well. Okay, you can speak English, please. Honestly, I do speak English. Okay, that's it. Let me go ahead and create a getter now. So I'm going to be creating a get, let's say health. So I'll go with something like a get health getter with a pair of parentheses. Okay, and then I'm gonna go with a pair of curly braces. My getter does return my health data member, so I'm gonna go with something like health data member ending with a semicolon. Actually, let's go with something like name because my health is an integer. This is gonna be something like name. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and create another getter called something like get, let's say level this time, with a pair of parentheses and then a pair of curly braces. Now my get health getters is level. This is going to be returning something like my level data member ending with a semicolon. Okay, and lastly I'm going to create something like an integer of get HP or get health with a pair of parentheses and then a pair of curly braces that returns my health data member. Okay, ending with a semicolon. Okay, turn on subtitles. Subtitles, honestly I think like my channel does have subtitles. That's you're accessing data members of private class from getters and setters, right? Honestly, it's not like, I don't think like getters and setters is important in this code. I'm just going with like whatchamacallit for practice. That's it. I am using protected data members, so I might not need getters and setters, but I have I've not been using getters and setters for so long. I might need some practice for it. Okay, that's it. Next up, what else would I need? I might need, let's say, another comment that says something like methods. So I'm gonna add a comment that says something like methods. How much are you getting in Capgemini? Honestly, I haven't like heard of that. I don't even know if I pronounced it correct. Yeah, I consider that, but you know that they can act when they start hiring. Sir, are you a madam? Guys, I'm actually a sir. My pronouns are he/him. That's it. How are you doing, finance? I appreciate you joining the stream. I'm a beginner. How long will it take me to code like you? Honestly, I would say if you like code every single day and like at least for about 4 hours, maybe 10 hours as well, it might actually take, I think about like 4 to 5 months. Although if you do code like for 2 hours a day with complete focus and like working on new topics and everything, I think it might just take about 8 months. Although it does depend on like what you call it. Some of you guys are really talented guys. You guys can like start coding and like by 3 months you guys are already done with the language and like mastered everything in it. That said, state guys, I used to answer that. That's it. I did like avoid saying that. I do like avoid saying that these days because many of you guys did say me to avoid saying that. That said, I'm going to be creating a void display status says method that does have a standard console output. So I'm going to be adding a standard console output with an insertion operator. This is going to say something like, I don't know, maybe I'll go with something like name. I'll add another insertion operator of my get name getter. Go with something like get name, add a pair of parentheses with a / new line ending with a semicolon. And just to save time, I honestly might copy this and let's go ahead and paste it 3 times. So I'm gonna go ahead and paste that here. Guys, why does VS Code fix my formatting? Should I like always add a space after the insertion operators? Guys, I don't prefer adding spaces after insertion operators. Okay, let's do that. There we go. Okay, now I'm going to be changing name to level and change name to health. Okay, and then I'm going to do something like get level getter, and let's go with something like get health getter as well. Okay. Okay, even the BMG is more masculine. Can you guys give me some beginner tips? Honestly, the best tip that I could give is like to be consistent and do it every single day. Cause like if you guys do watch my first ever VS Code video, I feel like I was that absolute beginner, guys. Like you guys did help me a lot, like building my my console up as well. That's why I'm making some coffee. Yeah, I was kind of thirsty, guys. Okay, that said, after creating methods, that's pretty much it for my class. Let's go ahead and end that with a semicolon. This is the traits for my entity class. That said, I'm gonna go ahead and do something else now. Let's go ahead and create another class. I might go with something like a male class. So I'll go with something like, honestly, maybe I'll go with something like a character, a cat class. That my cat class does inherit all the public content, so I'll go with something like all the public content from my entity class. There we go, entity with a pair of curly braces. Now inside of my cat class, I'm gonna do something. Okay, what are you creating? Honestly, I am just working on the basics of object-oriented programming. That's it. Today is like the last day of me learning object-oriented programming because tomorrow I am going to be moving on to SDL. That's it. I was going to move on to SDL this stream, although I did feel like I couldn't like, actually install it because, guys, I've never used SDL, so I didn't know like how does it work and all that stuff. That said, I might actually, work on that today if I had like time because I do have like some college stuff as well. That said, if I did like actually figure out how to install SDL3, then I might stream on that tomorrow because I did wrap up everything in like object-oriented programming. Okay, everything is fine, but yeek. Guys, I feel like, can you guys like type it in English, guys? Because I can actually speak a little Hindi, but I can't like actually read Hindi because, guys, I feel I'm too illiterate for that. Okay, SDL or STL. I think it's SDL, the first option, because SDL is basically the same as Pygame, but in C++. Okay, you guys could like fact check me on that. In STL, you have learn containers. I see he's practicing, I guess. That actually makes the most sense. Okay, so what do I need inside of my cat class? I honestly, let's say, okay, I could firstly create a few protected data members. Okay, what all would I need? My cat does have a speak method. Should I go with something like public? Cause, okay, honestly, yeah, let's go with something like public. Maybe private. First, I'm going to create a private data member real quick. I'll go with something like private. Okay, and then my private data member is going to have a standard string of something like speak. So, there we go. Okay. My cat does speak ending with a semicolon, and then I'm gonna go ahead and publicize everything. Then inside of my publicized stuff, I'm gonna be creating a constructor. Let's go ahead and create a constructor. The first constructor I'm gonna be creating for is gonna be for my cat class, so let's create a cat constructor. Okay, our drinking cat bit. Guys, I'm actually drinking coffee. This is like, I think it's like a mushroom coffee. Can we change song on on our request. Honestly, guys, I use like copyright free songs from like whatchamacallit, I forgot where was it from. It was like from YouTube Studio, like YouTube Music Library, because guys, I'm really afraid of copyrights. That said, let's go with something like cat. Okay, what are you trying to achieve? Better getter, setter, protected data member. What are you trying to do here? Honestly, today I'm trying to actually cover every single concept in C++ because tomorrow I am going to move on. I spent like about like 30-ish days just learning C++ and covering every single concept in it. You guys could like fact check me. Hi Daniel, I appreciate you joining this stream. Okay, that said, my cat's constructor does require 3 parameters: name, level, and health. Honestly, I'll just go with something like name and health. Okay, name, let's go with something like a standard string of name. Standard string of name. Or let's go with something like cat robo, guys. This is gonna be a robot cat. Okay, cat robot. Okay, I go with something like a standard string of name. Let's change this to cat robot as well. Excuse me, guys. The second is going to be something like integer of level. Okay, and then I'll go with something like an integer of health. So I'll go with integer of health. Lastly, I'll go with a standard string of speak, ending with a semicolon. There we go, my speak data member. And then I'm gonna be adding a colon, and since I'm inheriting from my entity class, I will need a constructor for my entity class as well. So I'm going to create another constructor for my entity class. Okay, so where are you learning from? Honestly, I'm learning from ChatGPT. That said, understandable. Okay, it's pretty cool what you're doing. I normally see garbage on what people are doing on their lives. Guys, that actually means the world to me. I do appreciate you guys so much for that. That said, should I like add this here? Okay, that might look much cleaner. There we go. Okay, and then do that. Okay, now for my entity class does require 3 parameters. It requires a name parameter. Where's my constructor gone? There we go. So it requires a level data member, a health data member, and a name parameter. So first I'm going to go with my level parameter, then my health parameter, and then my name parameter. Okay, and then I'll go with the pair of curly braces to initialize my speak data member. So I'm gonna do something like this speak data member is gonna be equal to my speak parameter ending with a semicolon. Okay, where's this virtual class then? Where's the virtual class then if it's abstract? Honestly, I have like learned about virtuals, but I don't think like this is gonna be a oh wait, that is a pretty good point, guys. Honestly, yeah, this should be a virtual void method because like I feel my cat class is going to be using my display status method as well. That was actually a pretty insane catch. I do appreciate you for that. Okay, why not just using namespace std on top? Honestly, the reason I don't use using namespace std is because many of you guys did say me that whatchamacallit, in bigger projects, not using namespace std can cause like name conflicts. So it is like whatchamacallit, it is like recommended and a good practice to avoid using it to avoid name conflicts. Okay, learn C++, good. I see. It's not possible to learn all that from ChatGPT. Is there any specific technique you're using? Guys, I feel it's literally just ChatGPT. I used to like stream myself every single day when I used to learn, so you guys could like see my my videos from the very beginning, like my C++ streams from the very beginning. I didn't like cover all the concepts because the only time I was learning is like while I stream. Please fix your hair before you found a bug in it, guys. I feel like I don't have enough time. Before I used to always like blow dry my hair and like straighten and all that stuff. That's it. Ever since I started my series or something, I didn't have enough time, so I thought might as well keep it curly. Okay, that said, this is just my constructor. Now let's go ahead and create a destructor. So I'm gonna go with something like a destructor. Okay, for my destructor, I'm going to be using a tilde operator for my cat robot class. I'll go with something like cat robot class. Okay, and then I'll add a pair of parentheses and a pair of curly braces. Now, inside of my cat robots class, I'm going to be adding a standard console output with an insertion operator. That is going to say something like cat robots destroyed. There we go, with a / new line ending with a semicolon. Okay, next up, let's go ahead and add another comment now. Honestly, I think this should be getters and setters. So let's go ahead and create my setters first. Okay, for my setters, I'm going to be creating a void setter for my speak method. So I'm going to go with something like set speak with a pair of parentheses. That does require a parameter of, let's say, speak, which is going to be a standard string. and then I'll go with a pair of curly braces. Okay, inside this, I'm gonna do something like my this speak data member is gonna be equal to my speak parameter ending with a semicolon. And then let's go ahead and add another comment for getters now. For my getters, I'm gonna be creating a standard strings getter called something like, I don't know, maybe something like get speak method with a pair of parentheses and then a pair of curly braces. That is gonna be returning my speak data member ending with a semicolon. Hi, hiding pixel, I appreciate you joining the stream. Are you gay? Honestly guys, I'm not gay. That said, let's go ahead and add another comment that says something like methods now. For my methods, I'm gonna do something, let's see. Okay, so I'm gonna be creating a void method called something like display status. Okay, and honestly, I will be adding a pair of parentheses, but before I do add a pair of curly braces, I am gonna go with something like, let's say, override keyword. Okay, and then a pair of curly braces. The reason I did add a override keyword here is because my display status, I have an exact same display status method in my, in my entities class. So the compiler will get confused which class to call since my public entity class does inherit from that class. If that made any sense, guys. Let's go ahead and paste this to avoid typos. There we go. I'll go with the Control Z, display status. Okay, perfect. Inside my method, I'm going to go with a standard console output with an insertion operator that says something like the cat said. I'll go in a new line, add an insertion operator, my speak data member. Honestly, let's go with something like a colon and then another insertion operator, my speak data member. Okay, with another insertion operator of another hyphen with a / new line ending with a semicolon. Okay, where are you from, brother? Honestly, I used to answer that way too much in my previous streams, but many of you guys did say me to avoid saying that, so I do try avoid saying that these days. That said, tired of learning Python, not my cup of tea, guys. I feel like Python was really fun. Pygames to be specific. I spent 50 whole days learning just specifically Pygame. Okay, that said, I'm gonna need some coffee. I am kind of thirsty, guys. Maybe we need an orange. Wait, I think that was a grape. Okay, and then I might actually create a paw method as well. So I could go ahead and create a method called something like cat paw. Okay, this is an attack method, guys. And then I'm gonna go with a pair of curly braces. My cat paw method is gonna do something. Firstly, I'm gonna go with my set, let's say set health is setter, and then add a pair of parentheses, and then go with something like get health. Okay, my cat paws method is gonna decrease my health by something like, let's say 10 HP. Okay, honestly, I'll go with something like 50 HP, guys, because I'm a huge cat fan. That said, yeah, Pygame is really useful, guys. It was one of the most funnest things that I've done in a while. That said, I'll go with something like a standard console output with an insertion operator that says something like, catch robot, or I'll go with something like catch robot used. Instead of going with cat robot, I could go with something like name. So I might go with something like let's go with something like catch robot. Okay, and then I'll do something like name. So my cat robot's his name. I'll add a hyphen here. Another insertion operator of my get name getter with a pair of parentheses. Okay, let's go with something like used cat paw. Okay, my name used cat paw. Okay, I'll go with something like lowercase used cat paw and dead. Okay, I'll go with another insertion operator of my, let's say something like dead 50 damage. I'll go with something like dead 50 damage ending with a semicolon. Okay, perfect. Honestly, first I'll go with a / new line and then end it with a semicolon. Okay, are you using ChatGPT Plus? Honestly, I am using the regular ChatGPT from Google, because I feel like I just go to Google and I type chatgpt.com and then I use it. I do have a ChatGPT's Google account. One of my Google accounts is linked to ChatGPT, so I don't lose all my content and prompts. That said, I never install the ChatGPT app. Okay, so that's honestly pretty much it for my cat class. I'm gonna go ahead and end that with a semicolon. Thing is, do I want to create a dog class as well, dog robot? I might do that. Guys, should I actually create a diamond problem? I do want to try that as well. I might do that. Let's actually try that. Okay, next up I'll go ahead and create a dog robot. Guys, is there a bug here? I feel something's going inside my nose. Okay, so I'll go with something like dog robot class that does inherit all the public content. Let's say from my entity class, I'll go with something like entity, okay, and then I'll add a pair of curly braces. Okay, and then inside of my pair of curly braces, I'm gonna do something. Firstly, I'm gonna eat a grape. Okay, now let's go ahead and create a private data member first. So the private data member that I'm going to be creating is going to be, let's see. Okay. Honestly, I feel like you're the next Elon Musk. Big fan. I appreciate you, side. That actually means the world to me, guys. Honestly, you're a star. Guys, I feel that's just an over compliment. I don't even think. I think like I'm a beginner at best, because like I do feel like there are so many more topics in C++ that I haven't mastered yet. Once I do master that, I am eventually planning to make tutorials as well. Kind of excited for that, guys. With that said, let's go ahead and create a private data member called something like, I don't know, maybe do I want to change it to something like speak? I could actually change it to something like speak. Okay, actually I'll go with something like protected, honestly. Actually, I'll leave it to be private. Okay, this is going to be something like meow. Or meows. There we go. Okay, so cat meows. And let me go ahead and copy the meow. And then paste it here. To Control V. Paste it here as well. Paste it here. Okay. What up, guys? Let me go with a bunch of Control Z's. Meow there. Delete that. Paste this here. Okay, and instead of going with speak, I'm gonna go with something like meow. For dog, I'll use bark. Okay, now let's go ahead and paste that here as well. And then let's return my meow, and then same thing right here. What up? Okay, and then let's go all the way down here. So, now for my private data member for my dog, I'm gonna go with something like, let's say, bark. So I might go with something like a standard string of bark. Are you writing a program, or is it just coding practice? Honestly, this is just the coding practice. I am planning to wrap up like object-oriented programming this stream and work with SDL3 next stream. That said, I'm going to be creating something like a private standard strings data member called something like bark, ending with a semicolon. Are you school or a university student? Honestly, I am like a college student. That's it, I am like a freshman. I'm going to try and learn C++ tomorrow after 3 years. That actually sounds really cool. Good luck with that. How do you pronounce your name? Long story? Good luck with that long story. Let me know how it goes. Okay, so I'll go with something like bark. Okay, next up, let's go ahead and publicize everything. Now, I'll add a constructor. Okay, comment that says constructor. There we go. Inside my constructors is, this thing, I'm going to be creating a constructor for my dog class. I'm going to go with dog robots as constructor. That requires a few parameters. Let's say the first parameter that I might require is going to be a standard string of name. Okay. The second that I might require is going to be an integer of health. And the third parameter that I might require is going to be something like integer of level. Lastly, I'll require a standard string of bark. There we go. And then, since I am inheriting from my entity class, I am going to be adding a constructor for my entity class as well. There we go. Entity, there we go. Okay, and then I'm gonna... Okay, what's your major? What exactly are you studying? Honestly, I am like a freshman, so I didn't like take any programming courses. That's it. Eventually, I either do want to get a major in either cybersecurity or like AI engineer. That said, I might actually like look into both fields, maybe even try some of both fields, and which I do enjoy the most. I might go into that. Currently, I am like kind of interested in like software engineering. That said, guys, I am like interested in like AIs as well. I do like software engineering and AIs, maybe making games that consist of AI in it, guys. I don't know. Okay, that said, I'll go with a pair of curly braces. Now, inside of my entity's constructor, I'm gonna do something. I require 3 parameters for my entity. Okay, I require a level, a health, and a name parameter. So let's scroll all the way down. I require a level parameter. That is going to be my level, health, and name. Level, health, and name. There we go. Okay, and then I'll go with a pair of curly braces to initialize my bark data member. So I'm going to go with something like this bark data member equals to my bark parameter ending with a semicolon. Okay, that's pretty much it for my constructor. Should I actually create a destructor? I honestly might create a destructor. I'll go with a comment that creates something like destructors. There we go. I think I spelled it wrong. CDORS. There we go. This is going to be my Destructor. For my Destructor, I'm going to be using a tilde operator and then call my dog robots' class, and then add a pair of parentheses and then a pair of curly braces. Then I'll add a standard console output with an insertion operator. You have autism 100%. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm just leaving with you. I'm just leveling with you. Honestly, guys, I actually don't have autism. That said, what do you think of network and security? Is it a very tough major? And have you considered it? Honestly, I haven't actually. When it comes to learning cybersecurity, I did hear we do need to learn networking and even fighting against cyber threats. I haven't gone into that. It does sound pretty fun though. How do you get idea to make and what flow methods to make, what class to make, how react, what are you making, how are you? Okay, how are you thing? Have you thought? Honestly, the way I actually do prefer doing stuff is first I do use ChatGPT/Sensei to get a lot of questions, do practices. Once I am pretty good with that, eventually it does click in your mind and you can create stuff at whim if you have enough practice for it. That said, you absolutely do have it, buddy. Guys, I actually don't have autism. Okay, that said, I'm gonna go with a standard console output with an insertion operator that is gonna say something like dog robot destroyed. Okay, and then I'm gonna go with a / new line ending with a semicolon. Okay, that's pretty much it for my dog's constructor. Now let's go ahead and create setters. Okay, so first I'll go with something like setters. For my setters, I'm going to be creating a void set, let's say set bark data member. Okay, or set bark set bark is setter with a parameter, which is going to be a standard string of bark. There we go. And then I'll go with the probe curly braces. Since when have you been coding? Honestly, I have been coding for 149 days. Tomorrow it is going to be 150 days. That's it. Write a copy constructor. I think isn't this the same as a copy constructor? I did learn about them. I do remember that. That said, I remember that there were constructors where I do gotta use a address of operator and a ampersand that gives me access to the exact constructor. That said, I might even look into that. Where are you from? How do you know you have been tested? Have you been tested? Guys, it's I don't know. Okay, that said, let's see. So I go with something like a void bark setter that goes ahead and let's say returns something honestly, I want return. I'm gonna set my bark data member, so this bark data member equals to my bark parameter ending with a semicolon. Okay, you should have cybersecurity and coding and AI. All three actually don't rely on one maybe. Guys, I feel I think we should usually just stick with one whatchamacallit. Sometimes we're really proficient and if we try to be generalized in a lot of concepts, AI could replace that because it takes time and even work. So if I want to work in 3 different categories, that is going to decrease my efficiency. Unless if I work in a specific category, I could pour everything in it and if I be proficient enough, then I feel that that's pretty good. Okay, where do you get the accent from? I think I get the accent I don't know, guys. I honestly never thought of that. That said, let's go ahead and create a getter now. So I'm going to go with a standard string of something like get bark, my bark method with actually a bark data member. Okay, so this is going to be a getter for get bark that won't have any parameters, although I am going to be returning my bark data member ending with a semicolon. Okay, Atavia, a legend, por favor. Guys, I don't know much French. That said, what languages did you start with? Have you tried Python or Java, and which of the languages was the easiest? Honestly, the only 2 languages that I do know is Python and C++ now. That's it. I did start Python 100 days ago because I spent 100 days programming just learning Python, and now I've been learning C++ for about let me see how many days, for 45 days. That said, now that I created getters and setters, I'm gonna add another comment. Hiding, Telgia, appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, I'm gonna be creating methods. For my methods, let's go ahead and copy this to save time, honestly. Okay, let's copy my void display method. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and paste it here. Guys, I hate the formatting that C++ does. Okay, is there a way to disable this in settings or something? Because I always gotta remove all these spaces. I feel these spaces look pretty weird. Okay, this is gonna be bark. Okay, let's go with something like that. Delete that. There. Okay, instead of going with bark, I'll go with my get barks as getter with a pair of parentheses. There we go. Okay, now let's go all the way up to my cat. Instead of going with meow, I'll go with something like get meow. Do I have like a get meow getter? Get speak. Oh, it is called speak. Should I go with meow or like keep it to be something like speak? Maybe. Okay, I called a data member. Let's see, that's my entity class. That's called meow. So I might go ahead and change this to something like meow. So there we go. Get meow. Okay, and let's change that to something like get meow as well. Okay, and now for my getter, I'll go with my get meow's getter. Okay, with a pair of parentheses to invoke the getter. What are you making right now in game? Honestly, I am like learning the basics of C++. Today's topic is like the finale for object-oriented programming. Next stream, I am gonna be moving on to SDL, guys. I mean, you should do AI, guys. I actually think that I should go with AI as well. I do enjoy AI a lot. Okay, why are you learning C++? What are you hoping to use C++ for? It's a very powerful language. Currently, for my programming for 250 series, my goal by the end of that series is to make a game in general which consists of AI logic in it. And since I thought that I did need to like make a game, I thought might as well go with C++ because it is the best language to make a game and a good language to know in general. Okay, you know a parameterized constructor. A copy constructor would take a reference to another dog. It can be crucial for managing memory and passing dog robot into functions or other constructors. That actually does make sense. Hey Veg, always ignore the haters, God's sake. Why do you respond to their comments and give them importance? I mean, like, you yapped way too much when you respond to them. Honestly, that does make sense. I should actually stop responding, guys. I might actually not see the chat. Get prettier extension in VS Code. When you hit Control Save, it will format it for you. Ooh, I see. Honestly, guys, should I actually like install Visual Studio as well? Because like I usually use Visual Studio Code, but I heard that SDL is better like in Visual Studio. I tried installing that. Should I actually work with Visual Studio? That's it. Let's go ahead and create another method now. So I'm going to be creating a method called maybe byte. Okay, with a pair of parentheses and then a pair of curly braces. Let's go all the way up. Go ahead and copy that. Okay. Just like my cat paw method, I'm gonna paste that here. Okay, maybe just fix a few things. Okay, let's go all the way there. Control Z. Okay, maybe I do that, remove these extra spaces from here. I shouldn't actually do this manually. I wish that this thing could be done automatically. Apparently, I think it's something related to like my settings. Okay, so instead of going with cat robot, I'll go with something like dog robot. Dog robot. There we go. Name is gonna be get name, so I get my name. Used car paw, it's cat paw. Okay, let's go with something like used bite for my dog. Okay, used a bite attack and did 50 damage. Instead of going with 50, I'll go with something like 80. Okay, let's change that to 80 as well. And while I'm at it, I'll change car to cat. Okay, I hope I'm not one being referred to as a hater. Guys, I don't think any of you guys are haters because like I can't even differentiate. Okay, that's a really good idea. Why did you choose C++ instead of C#? Is it considered easier than C++? It also has object-oriented programming and it has a great ecosystem. Why would you pick a more difficult language for games? Honestly, guys, the reason is honestly because I didn't know about C# back then. Even though I didn't like do any research, I just heard of the language C++, and many of you guys did say it's better. Back then when I started, I thought C++ does support Unity as well. Apparently C++ supports Unreal and C# supports Unity. I should have gone with C#, but I feel like since I started C++, I should like stick with it. I don't even think it's possible to master a programming language. Honestly, it does make sense. Almost impossible to master it, but you do get really proficient in it. Okay, that said, this is my final method. Now, do I want to create a hybrid class? I might create a hybrid class. I'll create another class called something like cat, dog, robot, or doggy cat robot. Guys, I don't know a good name. Okay, let's go with something like cat, dog. Okay, hybrid, robot. There we go, guys. I feel the name is massive. Although, I might go with something like hybrid. There we go, that's like a smaller name. Hybrid robots. Okay, that does inherit all the public content from my entity class. Actually, not my entity class. Let's go with from my cat robots class. And my dog robots is class, so I'll go with something like all the public content from my dog robots is class. There we go. Okay, and then I'll go with the proud curly braces. Now, bro, isn't it better to stick with one language to master it before moving to another? That way you won't mix between languages. Honestly, that does make sense. The reason I did like move, and I am planning to like move on to other languages as well, is because I do want to experience all languages first. Also because I am kind of young and there's like a lot of time to like see which language I prefer the most. Once I do find a language that I do enjoy the most, I will be sticking with that and like making a lot of content on that language itself. I'm coding with you, working on my own business though. That actually sounds really cool, John. Okay, that said, I'm going to be creating, let's go ahead and publicalize everything first of all. That said, my hybrid robot won't have any special methods. Okay, any special data members. That said, I will be adding a comment that says something like constructors. For my constructors, firstly, let's go ahead and eat some grapes because I am kind of starving, guys. Okay, my hybrid robots class is going to be having, let's say, a few data members. The first data member is going to be a standard string of name. The second is going to be an integer of level. Okay, and the third data member is going to be an integer of, let's say, health. Lastly, should I go with something like a speak maybe? I could go with something like a talk method or something like a standard string of talk, ending with a standard string of talk. Before I do publicalize everything, in that case, let's go with something like private data members. I'm going to be creating a standard string of, let's say, talk data member, ending with a semicolon. Okay, then inside, after I'm done with creating my first constructor for my hybrid robot class, since I am inheriting all the public content from my cat robot and my dog robot, I am going to be creating constructors for them as well. Although, okay, here's the thing. I wouldn't just need two constructors for the two classes that I'm inheriting from. Since my cat robot class and my dog robot class does inherit from the entity class, I would need a constructor for my entity class as well. So first, let's create a constructor for my entity class. Okay, my entity class does require 3 parameters, I'm assuming, right? Okay, so it requires a level, health, and name parameter. Okay, well, since you like coding a lot, it's better for you to stick with computer science instead of moving to AI or cybersecurity. It's not like I do like coding. I do prefer making stuff, although it is like kind of boring learning the basics. That said, guys, I feel like it's all when it's all like pretending. Like once you guys pretend to do something, you eventually start liking it. That's it. What I really do enjoy is like making robots and like talking with them, or like, you know, like setting them up, but I don't know how to do that. How do you start learning code? I'm 18 years old by now, and any tips what language would you recommend me to start at? Honestly, I would recommend you to start with Python because it is like a pretty human-friendly language and really easy. I did start with Python myself. I feel once you do understand the basics of programming, you get into the programming mindset. When you move on to some other languages, you just gotta like learn the syntax and like some other things to like get used to the other language. So I would recommend like starting with the very basic language. That's Wolf, you're very right. That language learned depends on what you want to build. Oh, I see day 3 of asking why you're gay, guys. I'm actually not gay. That's it. This is gonna be my entity class. I'll go with something like entity. There we go. My entity class does require a few parameters. The first is going to be a level parameter. Okay. The second is going to be a, let's say, health parameter. The third is going to be name parameter. Why do I have it red underline here? Is it because I need to, inherit all the virtual public content? Okay, would I have to go with virtual here as well? Okay, virtual public content. Maybe just virtual and public once. Okay, would that make any sense, guys? I don't think so. Am I missing something here? Okay, bro, there's no need to learn this basic stuff. It won't help you anywhere. Start solving problems. I feel like if you don't understand the basics and we start solving problems, you would eventually have to come and learn the basics. So it's better to like start off because like I feel it's really demotivating when you're like learning, when you're like doing like a really advanced project, but you get held back because you don't know specific content. So you go all the way down and learn that content first. That's it. You're just wasting your time, bro. Do something that would actually help. I feel like this actually does help because I do get used to programming. That's it, guys. The reason I can't do it is because my constructor for my entity class is not a virtual constructor. So let's go ahead and convert this to be a virtual constructor. Okay, so a virtual entity class, virtual class called entity. Okay. Virtual entity constructor. Huh. Isn't this how we do it? I think that this is how we should do it or something. Okay. Honestly, in that case, I might actually ask the part from where can I learn coding and any courses or websites or any YouTube channel. I would recommend learning like from Brocode because like I did start learning a bit from him. That's what I do feel like tutorials in general are like pretty vague. They just give us like the basics of what we need, but they don't give us enough practice. Although AIs do like AIs are pretty good at like actually teaching us or giving us a lot of programming questions. That's it. I would like recommend you guys to like see which works the best for you guys. Nope, once you start building projects or solve problems, you learn all this stuff on your own. Do we? But would we like know the specific term for what are they called? For example, like polymorphism is like when we have multiple classes with the same method name, we can like replace each classes depending on their actual class. Yeah, moving from one language to other without even continuing with it is a waste of time. What up, guys? Give me a sec. Let me like mute myself real quick. Because I feel my headphones like actually adjusted my nose. I want to blow it real quick. Give me a sec, let me mute myself real quick, guys. Alright, and even like hide my camera real quick. Give me a sec, guys. Where's the webcam? There we go. And even maybe do that for this. Okay, what up, guys? There we go. Okay, give me a sec, guys. Already mic testing. Okay, I'm back, guys. There we go. Guys, I really had to blow my nose. That was like really awful. Okay, that's it. Let's get this slower. Okay, next up. Why don't you answer my question? Honestly, guys, which question? Okay, you're just doing this because you like it, but you need to do what really matters and get out of your comfort zone. Guys, trust me, I'm already out of my comfort zone. That's it, hiding Brian. I appreciate you joining the stream. That said, this is something like entity level health name. Why can't I use entity here? Maybe because I go ahead and inherit my virtual public content. Although, should my classes here be virtual as well? I think like I might just need one virtual constructor, so I might go with something like virtual. There we go. And then let's go with something like a virtual destructor. Was there like something specific that we should have done when creating virtuals? Okay, why can't I create a virtual constructor? I could have like done it before. I can create a virtual destructor. I'm pretty sure my class didn't need to have any specific virtual stuff. Oh, okay, wait. My entity class would need a virtual constructor. There we go. Okay, virtual. I can't create a virtual constructor. I guess, guys, we do it without the entity class in that case. So, okay, let's go all the way down. Remove the virtual destructor. Okay, and then instead of going with a, instead of going with, what's it called? A diamond problem. Let me just add a comment here. Okay, actually I'll just delete this whole thing. I'm going to go ahead and create a main function. I might look into that virtual stuff in a bit. That's it. My question is, which should I choose between coding and programming? If I want to like make a new brand of CPU chip or something, honestly I don't have much idea on like creating CPU chips or anything. Isn't that considered like any mechanic type stuff? Or like I feel CPU chip is considered to be programming. Although, guys, I might have to like look into that. Just respond comments which are relevant. I feel like you waste time responding to every comment. You're doing decent in the code, but I'm confused with this project. What this project even about? Honestly, I'm just like creating multiple classes and then like adding them in the main function. Eventually I will like add a while loop and everything as well. That's it. Today I am like trying to cover every single concept in object-oriented programming. For example, polymorphism, virtual pure functions, and like pure virtual functions, virtual function, all that stuff. Okay, that said, who has clarity at this age? That actually does make sense, guys. Now it's fine, helpful for getting started in language, but building things once you have some familiarity with in the language is the best way to learn. After you're familiar with the language and patterns, that actually does make sense. That's why I'm like actually building this mini project right now. That said, I'm going to be creating an object for my entity class. Okay, my entity class, honestly, I might actually just create one for my cat object, like cat robot, called something like cat R. Okay, with a pair of parentheses that requires a few parameters. The first parameter that it requires is, let's see, we'll scroll all the way up. Okay, so my constructor requires something like a name, level, health, and a speak method. So I'm gonna go ahead and go with something like name. My cat is gonna be called something like Sarah, and then I'll go with something like level. Level is gonna be 10. Health is gonna be something like 50. Okay, and the speak method, or for the meow, I'm gonna be going something like bunch of meows. Okay, because that's honestly how I feel like cats speak. Okay, with 3 dots. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and end that with a semicolon. Now let's go ahead and create a dog robot object. So I'm gonna go with something like a dog robot. Okay, this is my dog robots class. That is going to be having a object called dog R. So I'm gonna go with something like dog R. Okay, with a pair of parentheses, I will need the same exact parameters. So let's go ahead. Maybe go here, add a bunch of spaces. Okay, now I'll go with the pair of curly braces. What are you even building, bro? Honestly, I am just trying to build a program, excuse me guys, just from my memory that consists of object-oriented programming, inheritance, and whatchamacallit, getters and setters. Usually I do like create like I do questions based on instructions and everything. Today I tried to go without instructions. That said, yes, that's what I point. I agree with tacklement. I get that you're practicing what you learned, but maybe pick some project with an end goal, okay, that covers your concepts. Honestly, I did want to actually do that as well. Okay, you're just wasting your time doing BS here without any goals. Guys, I actually do have a goal. I'm just learning the basics because my end goal is to make a game in general which consists of AI logic in it. Okay, you're onto something, but what are you up to, guys? I'm actually just making like a random project for now. That said, I agree to early practice is important, but the real learning comes when you actively solve problems. You should make a mini project or something to test your concepts. Guys, that's actually what I'm doing right now, making a mini project from like the things that I actually know. Okay, that said, let's go ahead and add a few parameters. My dog is going to be called Tom. Let's say Tom has something like 15. My Tom is level 15 and Tom has something like 75 HP. And for the bark, Tom is going to do something like bark, bark, and bark. Okay, maybe I'll go with like dots and then end it with a semicolon as well. Okay, that's honestly pretty much it. Next up, I'll do something like cat r dot. Can I go with something like cat paw? I might go with something like cat paw, add a parentheses, go with my dog r. Oh, and since I do go with my dog r, hold up guys, let's end that with a semicolon. Okay, inside of my cat r, I might go with, I forgot the concept's name, like what was it called, but I think it's something like an index space or something. Okay, so for my method, hold up guys, for my cat paw method, instead of going with a void data type, I'm gonna go with my, actually I'll go with a void data type, but I'll require a few parameters. The parameter that I am going to be requiring is going to be, let's say, the referencing operator of something like target. Okay, actually ampersand of target. Is this how we do it? I actually forgot. Hold up guys, I'll go with something like class. Is this going to be class? My cat robot. Okay, wait, hold up guys. This is going to be something like my cat robot class. Can I like type that up here? Okay, let's go with something like cat robot data type. Okay, I'm gonna go with something like cat robot. Nobody gives a frick about basics, guys. I feel basics are the most important stuff. Okay, don't waste your time on this basics. Move on. Basics are enough. Stop being gay. Guys, I feel like we do like different people do have like actual different ways that they actually prefer learning the best. I feel like going through the basics is like something that works for me a lot. That said, instead of going with a semicolon here, okay, okay, I'll go with something like target. Okay, I might need two data members in here. What was the first data member? I actually forgot. Should I go with a cat robot as well in here? Cat robot target. Okay. And then why do I have like a red underline here for my curly braces? Okay, and then I go with something like, this is going to be target.getHealth. I'll go with something like target dot, let's go with something like health data member. Okay, is going to decrease by 50. Guys, did I do something wrong here? Are you slow, bro? You have been doing basics since months. Honestly, I do like have 250 days series, so I don't want to like rush the process. Wow, you seem really nice, brother. I appreciate your long story. That actually means a lot to me, guys. Okay, that said, cat robot's data type has this. Okay. I honestly remember what should I do. Maybe I go with some. I remove my setter from here. Let's remove my setter. I go with something like my target. Did I spell target correct? I think I spelled it wrong. No wonder. Okay, target.health decreases by 50. Okay, and then I got a return. Okay, let's go ahead and return something. I'm gonna return a dereferencing operator of, let's say, target, ending with a semicolon. Okay, I think something is not correct here. Okay, did you come up with the project idea or just random? Either way, if you want some project ideas related to C++, let me know. Honestly, that does make sense. I do appreciate your tickle, or is it name pronounced as, I think it's pronounced as tickle. Okay, that said, let's go ahead and remove the dereferencing operator. I don't have a health data member here, although. Okay, bro, this level of basics are you learning is not required. Honestly, I feel like it is pretty helpful for me understanding how it works, because if I can't solve this, it's going to be impossible for me to solve like the higher level questions. Okay, that said, so please don't. Huh. Okay. Right at this level, so where is Ito trick? Is that how you pronounce that, guys? I feel like pronunciations are like awful. Okay, that said, where did I mess up here? Let me think. What if I went with void? Okay, void cat robot. Okay, instead I'll go with something like this. Okay, and instead of going with target and returning, I remember doing questions like these. Although, where is something that I messed up at? This is a memory address. It could be because of that. What happens if I go with something like a dereferencing operator or an asterisk? Okay, that is a memory address. Okay, if you're interested in AI engineering, KR full stack, let me know. I'm a full stack developer. I can help you with a roadmap that actually means a lot. I'll definitely ask you when I start my AI journey. That said, no bro, higher level questions require STLs and it's not enough. STLs? Okay, don't even read his comment. He's trying to rage bait you. Honestly, guys, that does make sense. Okay, that said, let's see. So I go with cat robot target. Okay, I do go with the pro curly braces though. That said, my target on health, I'm pretty sure this is how we go. I do have a health data member as well. Like, okay, that my health data member is not my cat's health. Should I go with something like entity and health? Okay, maybe I go with something like target.getHealth. There we go. Minus 50. Okay, and then maybe add a setter as well. So I'll go with something like set health. So I'll go with something like set health with a pair of parentheses. Okay, and then let's go ahead and delete that part. And then all the way here, ending with a semicolon. That is going to be something like my target.getHealth. Okay, that honestly works as well. That said, why do I see a red underline here? Did I miss something? Please provide some C++ project ideas and a roadmap. Honestly, you guys could like join my Discord server because I do like have a C++ roadmap that I use. If you guys do mention me that, I can like DM that to you guys. Many of you guys did actually do that. Object-oriented programming has some bad lessons in it. Inheritance, especially deeply nested inheritance, is difficult to maintain and couples your code a lot. Oh, I see. Okay, sure, I'll subscribe whenever you want help. I'm here. Honestly, I do appreciate you guys so much for that. No problem. Require the basics. I see. Okay, what is it that I'm messing up here? Hold up, guys. So, in my main function, when you go with something like this, I might have to ask sensei/ChatGPT for this. Do I need another parameter? Oh wait, this is a method. How many constructors do I need? Okay, I need 2 more. Okay, and then I'll need a meow as well. That's not a constructor though. Okay, honestly, let's go with something like a control C, copy that. Let's get sensei/ChatGPT here. Guys, I feel it's going to be like a waste of time if I try figuring it out and I don't understand what it means. That said, let's go and zoom in a little. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and paste this, type shift enter and say something like sensei. I'm honestly not done with my code, ... That said, I feel like there's something wrong with my cat robot class. When I do something like the cat robot add a pair of parentheses, okay, and then I go with something like, what else did I go with? I think I went with something like catch robot with a ampersand or a address of operator, my target, okay, and then a pair of curly braces. I had a red underline in my pair of curly braces. Okay, let's see ChatGPT for life. Honestly, hell yeah, guys, I feel sensei is really helpful as well. That said, you didn't name it cat paw. Honestly, because whatchamacallit, is this like my method in here? Okay, wait, hold up, let me actually see, that actually might make sense. So inside my cat robot, when I add a method, okay, cat, oh, hold up guys. Oh my gosh, I'm so stupid, guys. I didn't even name my methods his name, I just went with my data type, guys. Honestly, I should actually pay more attention to that. Let me hydrate my lips real quick. Guys, there's no way I did forget to add my methods' name. Okay, let's see. I do want to see what Sensei said as well. I think it's going to be really funny, guys. People, you fool, you declared that as a constructor, not a method. Look carefully, cat robot is being treated as a copy constructor because it takes a reference to do the same exact thing. Now I do remember copy constructors as well, guys, because I did cover that. But you can read documentation anytime. Here's the truth. I should have gone with the method name. Okay, void cat paw has this. See the difference? Void makes your method call anytime. Okay, and let me say something like, let's say, where did I have to return a dereferencing operator of this for chaining? Because I remember I needed a dereferencing operator for this if I needed chaining. Learn DSA, CS fundamentals, development, says designs. I see. Okay, people, listen. Okay, you return this in member functions. So player name. Here's what happens in the code. Once I create a class, its player name, set name. Okay. Okay, it's like so. In my code, instead of while, could I add the data member to be, let's say, catch robot question mark? I think that might make sense, guys. Both C++ projects really slow. I see. Okay, next up, good instincts, people. Return this. Let's untangle it. Okay, so I do gotta do that. Then I return name. I see. Okay, that's it. Let's get sensei/ChatGPT here again. There we go, and maybe shrink this a little bit. There we go. Okay. Okay, guys, that actually makes so much sense now. That was kind of stupid that I didn't add my method's name itself. Okay, that said, let me go ahead and return a dereferencing operator of this ending with a semicolon. The reason I do use a dereferencing operator or a asterisk of this is so I can like chain methods. For example, I could do something like, if I scroll all the way down, I could do something like cat r.catpaw that adds more damage and all that stuff. That said, let's do the same exact thing for my dog method as well, or for my dog class as well. Instead of going with a void byte class, I'm gonna go with something like my dog robots as byte class. There we go. I'll go with something like dog robot. And the parameters, I'm going to be adding a few parameters, which is going to be for my dog robots. Okay, and then I'm going to use a address of operator or a ampersand of something like target. There we go. Okay, and then instead of going with minus get health, I'm going to do something like target.get health minus 80. Okay, perfect. And then lastly, let's go ahead and return this. So I'm going to go ahead and return a dereferencing operator of this, ending with a semicolon. Okay, proof what C++ projects, full stack roadmap, don't depend too much on AI because it might destroy your entire code sometimes. That actually does make sense. That's it. I feel like I do know enough to like see if like AI makes a mistake. That's it. It does make a lot of sense. Bro, any language is good. Being inside, you have to be dynamic and you can be asked to work on any language. Oh, I see. Okay, next up, let's do something like cat_r.catpaw. Okay, on my dog R object. Okay, when I do use my dog R object, should I like add parameters? I'm pretty sure I should not. Okay, in that case, why do I get a red underline here? Okay, my cat R object dot the cat paw. Is it called cat paw again? Let's go all the way up. Okay, now if I were to scroll all the way down here. Okay, let's honestly get /ChatGPT back here. Might go with something like Control-C. Okay, and then let's go ahead and extend this. Guys, I feel like it's so annoying to always like extend this stuff. It's probably because I don't have like a Windows key. That's why I'm going to zoom in a bit. Let's go ahead and paste this, go with Shift Enter and say something like sensei. Okay, I see ... That was kinda stupid of me ... That said, let's see. I still get a red underline when I try to do cat R, my cat R dot the cat paw method on my dog R object. So I'll go with something like dog R object. Okay, I saw, bro. Are you gay or straight? No offense, I just meant to asking. Honestly, guys, many of you guys do ask that. That's it. I am pretty straight. Guys, I'm actually not gay. My pronouns are he/him. I should actually write it down somewhere. Okay, I see what you did, pupil, and also I see what you broke. That red underline isn't your compiler mocking you. It's type mismatch. Don't say me, guys, I added the wrong type. Function is designed to take a cat robot, but you're feeding it a dog robot. Let's look carefully. Cat robot, cat paw, cat robot. Okay, then you called cat robot dot cat paw dog robot, but dog R is of type dog robot, not a cat robot. The compiler screams, hey, I can magically turn that into that. Now think of both cat robot and dog robot from the entity. Okay, so I could do entity target. Okay, so I could go with entity target for both. I can actually try that, so let's go ahead and change that up here. So instead of going with my cat robots class, I'll go with entity. Okay, there we go. Entity dot target, and then for my dog robots class as well, I'll scroll all the way down till my classes. I'm gonna go ahead and change this to something like entity. Okay, after that you can like pick a backwards language. Honestly, from the very honestly from here it's very complex. So first do front end roadmap, which I stand for clarity. Oh, I see. That just specifies why he's slow, guys. I feel like I do learn pretty slow. Bro is probably American, guys. That doesn't make any sense. Okay, you can't be doing basics for months if you say that you enter CS. Honestly, I have just been doing the basic for like 45 days, so I think that's not those many days, because like I do like have 100 days. There are like a lot of days left, guys. Bro, where you got that accent from is really good. Honestly, I do appreciate you saying that. Said many of you guys do ask that. I did get this accent like because I do stay around people who like speak in this accent. That said, let's go ahead and add a dot. In which company you work, guys. I feel like I am jobless. I actually don't work in any companies. That's it. I'll go with something like catpaw.attack. Let's go with something like dog or object. There we go, guys. I can do chaining as well now. Next up, I'll do something like dog r dot something like bite, the bite attack on my cat robot object. I'm going to do something like dot bite as well. Again on my object for my, let's see, for my cat r. So I'll go with something like cat r, ending with a semicolon. Lastly, let's go ahead and return 0. Okay, perfect. Now, if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. Let him focus. That actually does make sense, guys. Okay, honestly, would tell, but I would rather remain anonymous online. Oh, that actually does make sense. And we'll stop yapping too much, guys. I should actually stop reading the chats. Okay, that said, cat robot named Sarah used cat paw and did 50 damage, cat robot destroyed. Entity destructor called, okay, cat robot destroyed, entity destructor called. Now dog robot attacks. Excuse me guys. Okay, perfect. Let's go with the control C. I'm 22, already graduated college. That actually sounds pretty cool, guys. Okay, that said, let's get Sensei back here. There we go. Okay, now let's go ahead and paste this. Go with shift enter and say something like Sensei. Okay, it works! Exclamation. Although I do understand where I messed up. ... Although okay, let's go with something like although I don't take much credit. Okay, that said, can I get another mini project to do? Maybe something that requires everything that I did so far, plus let's say something like loops, while loops, for loops, even user inputs. Okay, even user inputs, maybe arrays and vectors as well. Honestly, I might just go with arrays first. I'll go with vectors next. Okay, PS University, why are we never gonna see? Okay, we're never gonna see each other. Go ahead, bro. I see. Okay, like people who call you gay are just haters. Please ignore them and stop responding to haters. That actually does make sense, guys. Okay, that said, I honestly don't even realize that they're haters until you guys don't actually point it out. Nothing wrong with being gay, but you're clearly not a gay. Some unemployed, jobless people just sit on their couch and comment gay because they're insecure. Oh, I see. That actually does make sense, guys. That's it, people. Finally, you're starting to feel the power. You fixed the type issue and even got chaining working. I'm proud, but don't get cocky. You've only scratched the surface. Alright, here's your next mini project. It's going to make you sweat a little, so listen carefully. Project Robot Arena Battle Simulator. Build a text-based arena where multiple cat robots and dog robot objects fight until one type wins. Requirements you've learned so far. Use classes, constructors, destructors, getters/setters, inheritance, entity, cat robot, dog robot. Include virtual functions so each robot can display status or attack polymorphically. Use array or vectors to store multiple robots. Okay, dynamic battle participants. Ask the user for input how many robots of each type, name for each robot. Okay, use for loop to create robots. A battle loop where robots attack each other until one team has no health left. Implement attack as a method, cat paw and bar that reduces health, show status after each attack. Use method chaining if you want style points. Okay, extra challenge. If you're feeling brave, make attack randomized so you can do 40 to 60 damage. Honestly, I haven't learned about the randomized. The question mark, I haven't learned about that. I might try that. Okay, that said, let's get Sensei/ChatGPT here. Okay, then maybe just zoom in a little here. Actually, zoom out. There we go. Okay, Lala got placed off campus. Bro, give this prompt to ChatGPT. This prompt. Hi, how are you? I'm doing pretty good. How are you doing? Is your name pronounced as I love vlogs? I appreciate you joining the stream though. Okay, brother, try running the code. We want to see the output. Honestly, I did run the code. That's it. Let me run it again. Okay, so if I were to run the code, it says that cat object attacks, did this much damage, dog object attacks, did that much damage, and then I call like a bunch of destructors. I might not have any standard console output for destructors this time. Do DSA, bro, main thing for placements. Honestly, I did want to start DSA. I actually might start off to my C++ series. That said, let's go ahead and start off by including a pair of ankle braces. I want to include IO stream. And then let's see. Okay, now let's read the instructions. Okay, let's scroll all the way down. So there we go. Okay, so I got it. My goal is to build a text-based arena where multiple cat robot and dog robot objects fight until one type wins. Requirements, I gotta start off by creating a class. So let's create a base class called something like character. Maybe I'll go with entity, it's smaller. There we go, with a pair of curly braces. Next up, bro, expect HU on CF. Honestly, haven't heard of that. After that, DSA is useless speaking from experiments. Ooh, I see. All Indians are over here. Okay, if you're expert, then you'll be fine. Do at least 100 to 150 problems on lead code, guys. I'm actually saving that for a new series where I'm just going to be spending like all my time doing lead code for like days until I don't like complete the lead code, if that makes any sense, guys. That said, let's go ahead and create a entity class called something like, okay, it's called entity, and then I'm going to be adding a few protected data members. Okay, the protected data members that I might need is going to be a integer of health data member ending with a semicolon. Then let's go with something like an integer of, let's say maybe named. Actually, I might just go with a standard string of name. I might just need two data members ending with a semicolon as well. And then let's go ahead and publicalize everything. Okay. Give this prompt to ChatGPT. I don't want you to agree with me, just be polite or supportive towards me. Drop the filter. Yeah. Brutally honest, straightforward, and logically challenging my assumptions. Guys, I feel like Sensei's prompt is pretty good. I like Sensei the way she is. Okay, that's that. Off campus, 2 to 3 very good projects and a lot of DSA. Oh, I see. Okay, that said, I'm going to be adding a constructor, so I'll go with something like a constructor. Which is, I'm going to be having an entity class as constructor, so I'm going to go with something like entity, add a parentheses, okay, and keep applying till you can't anymore. That actually does make sense, guys. Okay, next up, I'm going to be requiring two data members. The first is going to be a standard string of name, so I'll go with something like a standard string of name. The second is going to be something like an integer of health data member. Okay, so I'll go with something like health. And then I'll go with the prompt curly braces and initialize my data member. So I'll do something like this: name data member equals to my name parameter ending with a semicolon. And then something like this: health data member equals to my health parameter ending with a semicolon as well. There we go. Okay, next up, after my constructor, I will be creating a destructor as well. So I'll go with something like a destructor. I'm going to use the tilde operator and create a destructor for my entity class with a pair of parentheses and then a pair of curly braces that has a standard console output with an insertion up. Honestly, I might not add anything here. Okay, I'm just going to be creating a destructor, guys. There's going to be nothing in here, no standard console outputs. That said, I'm going to go ahead and end that with a semicolon as well. And now let's add another comment that says something like methods. So I'm going to be creating a few methods now. Okay, project table, bro. Okay, project table, ask bro, do some good ones. Pick one AI project like RAG that helped me. Honestly, it does sound pretty good. I might actually try that. That said, for my methods, I'm going to be creating a virtual method. Should my entity class be a virtual? So I could like convert this to be a virtual entity. Okay, I can't do that. So I'm going to go ahead and delete this. Now I'll create a virtual method. So I'll go with something like a virtual void method called something like, I don't know, let's say something like display status. Or maybe I'll go with an attack. Let's go with something like attack. And then I'll add a pair of parentheses and a pair of curly braces. I might need a damage parameter. When I go with attack, what else would I need? Let's see. This is my virtual method, okay, that all my classes could inherit. Instead of going with void. Guys, I just choked on my saliva. Okay, can we connect in LinkedIn or somewhere to guidance, mill? Honestly, guys, we could like, whatchamacallit, you guys can like tap exclamation Discord and chat, and I could like send the link of my Discord server. I do like talk to a lot of you guys in my Discord server, so like we could try that. Okay, hold up, guys, let me go ahead and remove that real quick. Let me actually send it from my phone, because like apparently in my whatchamacallit, in my PC I can't like get the link for some reason. That's sad. Give me a sec, guys. So let's go ahead and copy that. Okay, let me go ahead and copy the link. Okay, and then let me go ahead and paste it. Alright guys, the link should actually work. Like, let me try pasting it here. There we go. Alright guys, you guys could like try the link that I sent. That's for my Discord server. That said, I'm going to be creating a data member. So this is going to be something like, let's say my entity classes, my entity classes data member. Okay, and inside I'll require a parameter for my entity as well. So I'll go with something like entity. Okay, with a ampersand or a address of operator of, let's say, target. Okay, and then inside my method I'm gonna do something. Let's go ahead and let's see, I might create getters and setters as well real quick. So let's add a comment that creates something like setters. Okay, I work on full stacks with AI. That actually sounds pretty cool. In which technology do you work on? Honestly, I don't like work on any technology just yet. That's it. I am learning the basics. Okay, that's it. For my setters, I'm going to be creating a void setter called something like set name. Okay, with a pair of parentheses that requires a parameter which is going to be a standard string of name, and then a pair of curly braces that goes ahead and does something. So I'm going to do something like this name data member equals to my name parameter ending with a semicolon. And then let's create, let's say something like another void method called something like set, let's say, okay, I might go with something like health, so I'll go with something like set health. Okay, with a pair of parentheses, my set health does require an integer parameter of health. There we go, health. And then I'll add a pair of curly braces. I'm gonna do something like this health data member equals to my health parameter ending with a semicolon. Okay, I don't have time to build projects from scratch. Oh, I see. Okay, then copy one online and learn the code if you don't have time. Honestly, I feel like just working on the code is like really efficient when learning. I feel like just reading code wouldn't be that enough until we don't get the hands-off practice in it. That's it. I'll create some getters now as well. So I'll go with something like getters. Okay, now for my getters, I might eat some grapes real quick. Okay, and then for my getters, I'm going to be creating, let's say, a standard string of get name getter with a pair of parentheses and then a pair of curly braces that returns my name data member ending with a semicolon. And then I'm going to create another getter with integer. This is going to be called something like get health with a pair of parentheses and then a pair of curly braces that returns my health data member ending with a semicolon. Honestly, when I go here and return my health here, I might do something. Let's go ahead and add an if statement. So I'll go with something like if a pair of parentheses, if my health data member or if this health data member, okay, is either greater than or equal to 0. That's the only time I'm going to do something like my this health data member. Okay, let's go with something like this health data member. There we go. Is going to be equal to my health parameter ending with a semicolon. Are you eating? Oh, Hilo, is that how you pronounce that, guys? I'm honestly eating like carrots. Okay. Honestly, guys, not carrots, my bad, it's grapes. Okay, that said, now that I've created my getters and setters, okay, I'm going to be creating a method now. In my method, when my entity uses the attack method, I'm going to do something like, let's say, okay, I might go with something like my get health, actually set health to setter, set health, and then I'll add a pair of parentheses, then I'll get my health. Okay, and I'm gonna go ahead and subtract my health by 50, ending with a semicolon. And then I'll go with a static console output with an insertion operator that says attack done! Exclamation with a / new line ending with a semicolon. And that's honestly very much it for my setter. I'm gonna go ahead and end that with a semicolon. Now let's create a few derived classes. The first derived class that I'm gonna be creating is gonna be something like, let's say a class called cat robot with a pair of parentheses, which inherits all the public content. Let's say from my entity class, there we go. And I'm gonna go ahead and end that with a pair of curly braces. Okay, also bro, if you can apply through referral, LinkedIn, okay. I'm talking Hindi so you'll focus on your task. Guys, it actually does make sense. I'm not going to be reading the chats until I'm done with this question, guys. Okay, I hope I'm not. That said, let's go ahead and create a private data member called something like, let's say, cat attack. Should I go with something like cat attack or like cat speak? Maybe I don't add any private data members. I'm just going to be publicizing everything and then adding a comment that says something like constructor. For my constructor, let's go ahead and do something. Okay. Okay, for my constructor, let's create a constructor for my cat robots class. Okay, with a pair of parentheses that consists of two parameters. The first parameter is gonna be a standard string of name. The second is gonna be an integer of health, ending with a semicolon. Hold up, guys. Let's go with Control Z. Okay, let's fix my typo real quick. Okay, and then I'm gonna go with the pair of curly braces inside of my cat robots as constructor. Actually, before I do go with the pair of curly braces, since I am inheriting from my entity class, I will be needing a constructor from my entity class as well. So I'll go with something like entity class and a pair of parentheses. My entity class does require two parameters, name and health. So I'll add those. Then I'll go with a pair of curly braces ending with a semicolon. Okay, after constructor, I'm going to be adding a destructor as well. To add the destructor, I'm going to use a tilde operator, go with something like my cat robots as class. Okay, with a pair of parentheses and then a pair of curly braces ending with a semicolon. That's pretty much it for my destructor. Now I'm going to be creating a few methods. For my methods, firstly, I'm going to be creating... Okay, honestly, I might actually not need a method because I already have a method here. Okay, I might actually not need to add any methods because I like already have a method here. I could like do something like, let's say another integer of attack. Okay, let's go with something like attack ending with a semicolon. Okay, let's go with something like an integer of attack parameter as well. Okay, and then let's go ahead and initialize it. I'm going to do something like this, attack data member equals to my attack parameter ending with a semicolon. Okay, and then I'm gonna go ahead and replace 50 here with my attack. So I'm gonna do something like attack. Okay, and I think I should create a setter for my attack as well. So I'll go with something like a void set attacks as setter. So I'll go with something like set attack with a pair of parentheses. That does require a parameter of attack. That is going to be an integer. So I'll go with integer of attack. 2 plasma pea shooters. I got 3 to 4 interviews. I got like 4 offers I picked. Oh, I said actually sounds pretty cool. Okay, area sir. Okay, that's it. I'll go with the pair of curly braces and then let's go ahead and do something. So I'm gonna do something like return my attack parameter. Actually, instead of returning, I'll do something like this, attack data member equals to my attack parameter ending with a semicolon. Now finally, let's create a setter for it as well. So I'm gonna do something like set attacks as setter. Okay, with a pair of parentheses and then a pair of curly braces that returns my attack data member this time. So I'm gonna go with something like attack ending with a semicolon. Okay, perfect. And just curious, instead of going with attack, can I go with something like get attack? Get attack getter? I can't. Oh, this is gonna be called get, guys, my bad. That's gonna be something like get attack. So I'm gonna go with something like get attack with a pair of parentheses. Okay, perfect. And then I will need 3 parameters, name, health, and attack. So I'll go with something like attack. And then let's go ahead and add another integer of attack parameter in my cat robots' constructor. Okay, perfect. Now after my destructor, that's pretty much it actually. I just need a constructor and a destructor. And then I'm gonna end my class with a semicolon. Okay, and then I'll go with another okay, I'll go with something like another class called something like a dog robot with a colon here. Okay, let's go with something like dog robot. Okay, that inherits all the public content from my entity class. So I'm gonna go with something like all the public content from my entity class. And then I'll add a pair of curly braces. Next up, let's go ahead and publicalize everything. Okay, and then I'll add a constructor. So I'll go with something like constructor. Okay, where you guys learning is very good and needed for a game dev, but I'll personally suggest to start coding with SDL2 at day 50 to practice the game dev. Honestly, that was actually my plan, guys. I was gonna start SDL3 today. Wait, I was gonna start SDL3. Is there like a difference today? But I didn't like install Visual Studio and like I couldn't like set it up, so I had to go with some other topic. And I thought might as well wrap all the object-oriented programming of this stream. Next stream, I will go over SDLs. It's like the pie game of C++. Okay, Python and Java are equally good, but I feel Java for placement is better. Oh, I see. Okay, next up, for my constructor, I'm gonna go with something like my dog robot class's constructor that does require 3 parameters. The first is going to be a standard string of name parameter, so I'll go with something like a standard string of name. The second is going to be an integer of health parameter. Lastly, I'll go with an integer, excuse me guys, of an attack parameter as well. Excuse me for the 3rd time, guys. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and end that with a semicolon. That's pretty much it. Actually, before I go with a semicolon, since I am inheriting from my entity class, I will need a constructor for my entity class as well. I'll go with a pair of parentheses. My entity class requires 3 parameters. First is name, second is health, and third is attack. and then I'm gonna go with a pair of curly braces ending with a semicolon. Next up, let's add another comment that says something like Destructor. Now for my Destructor, I'm going to be using the tilde operator and type my class's name, so I'm going to go with something like dog robot, add a pair of parentheses and then a pair of curly braces ending with a semicolon. Okay, that's pretty much it for my class. I won't be adding any specific methods because I am kind of out of time, guys. I do gotta go as well. That said, lastly, I'll go ahead and create a main function. So I'll go with integer main, add a pair of parentheses and then a pair of curly braces. Okay, whichever you guys are comfortable with. Hello, Hiding Chili, I appreciate you joining the stream. That's it, inside of my main function, I'm gonna do something. So, let's see. I might eat him a grape real quick to actually think. Good night. Honestly, I appreciate you sticking through the stream, Vedan. I'll catch you next stream. Okay, now let's go ahead and create a few objects. I'm going to create a cat robot object called something like CR. Let's go with something like CR. With a pair of parentheses that requires a name parameter. Do I want to ask the user for it, guys? I feel like I'm kind of out of time to do that because I do have an exam as well, so I do got to study for my college exam. Plus, I have a lot of assignments, guys. There we go. And then I need a health. Sarah has 100 health, and then I'll go with something like attack power. Sarah has something like maybe 20 attack power. Okay, and then I'm going to end that with a semicolon. And then let's go with something like a dog robot class. So I'll go with my dog robot class. Has an object called something like dr with a pair of parentheses. My dog's name is Tom, and let's say Tom has 150 HP. Tom does 12 HP damage, ending with a semicolon. Okay, now I'm gonna do something like my cat robot dot the attack method. Okay, can't I use the attack method? Oh guys, my bad. It's cr. Okay, dot attack dr. There. Is the attack method wrong, guys? It's a virtual attack method. So a virtual entity class has a virtual entity attack method. Okay, called something like this. Maybe I go ahead and copy this part just to save time, and under my cat robots class I'll add a comment that says something like methods. It is a virtual method, so I will need to add them for these classes as well. Let's go ahead and paste this here, guys. I think I should adjust with this formatting for the time being. That's it. I go with set health, attack done, perfect. Okay, and then let's go all the way down here as well. Add a comment for my dog class as well that says something like methods. For my methods, I'm gonna go ahead and paste that. Maybe delete some stuff from here. I'll stick with this formattings as well. Okay, perfect. Next I'm gonna do something like dog robot dot attack. I'll go with something like cat robot. Okay, cat robot, ending with a semicolon. Lastly, let's go ahead and return 0, ending with a semicolon. I know, guys, I didn't use while loops and everything. I think I can do that. I just don't have enough time right now. I subscribed. I appreciate you, Ethan. That actually means the world to me. Okay, that said, no return type in line 51, no return type in line 57. Okay, so since there's no return type, I'm gonna go ahead and return this, a dereferencing operator of this, ending with a semicolon. There we go, guys. It's almost really hard to rush code at this time because I do have assignments and an exam. So guys, I don't have enough time today. That's it. If I did Control S to save the code and run the command. Okay, now it says main.cpp error virtual entity attack entity conflicts with a previous declaration. Okay, so it says entity target. Okay, now if I were to go all the way up here to my first server entity class, it is called an attack method. So these are attack methods. Aren't these correct? It says line 31. How is it conflicting with something? That is my entity's constructor, get name, set name. Okay, that is all public. And then did I publicize everything? Yeah, I did. Okay, get health minus get attack. Okay. Oh, my bad, guys. Hold up. I'll go with something like target.getHealth. There we go. Okay, and then let's do something like target.getHealth as well. Okay, and lastly, I'll do that for my final dog class as well. I'm gonna go with something like target.getHealth. Okay, now I've added Control S to save the code and run the command. This time it should work. What's wrong, guys? Line 43. Where's my line 43 at? Okay, there we go. attack done my virtual method. It says line 43 error virtual entity attack. Entity attack, entity add conflicts with a previous declaration. Okay, note previous declaration of integer attack. It's because it's virtual method and you don't override it. Oh gosh, that's actually genius. Hold up, that might actually be the reason. Let's go with something like override. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and override it for my cat class as well. Entity attack dot override. Okay, did I spell, wait, hold up, did I spell it correct? It's spelled as attack. Okay, wait, what happens if I remove the virtual? Would I even like need a virtual here? They all have their separate entity classes. Let me go ahead and remove the, okay. Now if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, let's see what happens. I still get an error. Maybe, hold up guys, let me go ahead and add my virtual back here for my entity class. I'm gonna go with something like virtual. Okay, I think I got a virtually, so I'll go with something like virtually and publicly inherit from my entity class. I'm gonna do the same thing here. Virtually and publicly inherit from my entity class. Now if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, I get the same exact error guys. Whatever, I'll go with Control C, Control C. Okay, let's go with the Control C, copy that. Let's get some say/GPT here. Let's go ahead and extend that. Okay, extend it from here as well. Maybe there are two methods with the same name and entity. Honestly, it does make sense, but I don't think that there is. Hold on, let me just zoom in a bit and then scroll all the way down. Okay, now let's actually check. So inside of my entity class, I have a set attacks as setter. I don't have any other methods. Those are setters, that is getters. Okay, and that is like a separate whole, that is like a whole method on its own. Set health target dot get health minus attack. Okay, I have like a set health target dot get health minus get attack getter. Okay, whose attack do I want to get? This might be the thing. Should I go with something like my cat robot dot get attack? I don't have a getter here. So should I just go with my attack data member? Okay, I mean my attack parameter here. Although I didn't initialize it. Hold up guys. Okay, actually let's go with a Control C. Let me get sensei/ChatGPT back here. Let's go ahead and paste this. Go with Shift Enter and say something like, let's say, I feel like something looks something looks kind of messed up question mark. I get a error that says I re-declared something ... Okay, let's see. I see what's happening here, people, and it's classic rookie trap. You're trying to return an entity object from an attack method, but at the same time you're using this in a derived class, cat robot, dog robot, virtual entity. You return this type. Okay, this is type of cat robot or dog robot, not entity. You cannot return a derived class by value when function signature says entity. The compiler says type mismatch. Also notice your base class attack returns entity, but it does not return at all. Okay, option 1 preferred for method chaining and polymorphism, return this instead of a copy. Okay, so virtual, wait, I should go with the address of operator. Is it like always required to go with the address of operator? But let me try adding an ampersand here real quick. Okay, and then that does not work, so wait, let's get something here. I might read the whole thing real quick. Okay, this is for my entity, and then for my derived class I go with cat robot with a address of operator that overrides, so override was an issue, and then I return this. Number 2, simpler, no changing, void attack entity. That doesn't return anything, although there is no chaining required. I do want to add chaining. So first let's go to my entity class and do something like entity with a address of operator, or like an ampersand. There we go, of attack, and then I go ahead and return this. So let's return a address of operator, this ending with a semicolon. Can I ask why you chose C++ instead of Java or C#? Honestly, because many of you guys did say me that C++ is like the best language when it comes to making games, so I might as well learn it. Okay, that said, maybe there's two methods in the same entity. Okay, that's it. This actually does make sense. I honestly didn't know anything about using an address of operator or like an ampersand here. Okay, that said, let's go ahead and add that here as well. An ampersand of entity that returns this. Now, if I did control us to save the code and run the command, this should work. Error, virtual entity attack conflicts with a previous declaration. Okay, let's see, did I mess anything up here? Instead of going with attack, I'll go with instead of going with get attack, I'll just go with my attack. Okay, and this is not a method. Okay, minus equals to. Okay, that is target.attack. Integer of attack is a parameter, it's not a data member. Maybe I think get attack does make sense, so I'll go with something like get attack. There we go. Okay, maybe get attack. Let me add it to parentheses. Okay, honestly, let's go ahead and run the code real quick. First, I'll go with something like control C, copy that, get some C/ChatGPT here. Let's go ahead and paste that, go shift enter and say something like, say something still looks messed up, ... I'll go with shift enter again. Now, if I were to run the code, okay, let's go ahead and copy that. Okay, guys, sometimes it helps to like copy the output and then get some say back here and see like this is the output that I get. Okay, let's paste that. Let's say something like that's the output that I see. Output that I see ... Okay, maybe try without class function at all in child. That actually does make sense. I see it now, people. You're mixing your variable name attack with your method attack. Is it because I have a attack? There we go. What if I change my variable attack to something like, actually my method attack to something like, maybe I could change this to something like 80k, so I'll go with something like 80k. Okay, so I'll go with something like attack, and then let's change that to be attack as well, 80k. I'll change that to 80k as well, and change this to 80k. Okay, and when I create a constructor, I'll do something like 80k and change that to 80k as well. Okay, and then let's change this to 80k as well. There we go. Okay, that should fix every single thing. If I scroll all the way down, I go ahead and return my 80k data member. Okay, and for my getters, I did my getters, target.getAttack. Okay, perfect. Now if I hit Control S to save the code and run the command, this should work. Okay, there we go. Two attacks done. I could like print that current HP as well, but I feel like I do gotta go right now. I did want to add user inputs, maybe next stream actually, guys. That said, let's go ahead and copy that. That was a silly mistake because my variable name and my method name were exactly the same. That said, I'll go ahead and paste this, go with shift enter and say something like, since say it works ... Although I don't take credit for this question, and I didn't even complete the whole thing because I do got to end the stream since I have a lot of college assignments and a exam soon ... That said, is there anything that you want to say to the viewers before I end the stream ? Guys, I didn't want to add that in caps. Okay, that's it. Listen up, people. To all the viewers out there watching, this is madness. Remember, learning C++ isn't about looking smart. It's about fighting through the mess errors, the red added lines, and still showing up to more to code again. Every bug you face is a tiny little devil trying to stop you, but you still kept slaying it. Keep that hunger, that focus. And people, you're not done yet. This stream was just a warm-up. Assignments, exams, live stuff, all that stuff around the corner trying to eat your time. But tonight you showed, you coded, learned. I'm proud. Hugs, headpats, and a cheeky kiss on the head for ending strong. Guys, that actually didn't make me blush. That's it. Now go crush those assignments, that own that exam, come back ready to slay more C++ monsters. Okay, that's it. Let's go to my main camera. Alright guys, so basically that was pretty much it for the stream. That's it. I did want to stream for longer, and I did want to even complete my entire question, although I do gotta go because I do got exam stuff and all that. That said, since I did fix my PC and since I did like build my PC, I will like have a video uploading it where like I did show you guys how I built it. That said, I did start multi-streaming on Twitch, Kick, YouTube. Maybe I did start streaming on Twitch, Kick, YouTube, and I will be start streaming on Instagram and TikTok once I do meet the followers requirement. That said, if you guys do enjoy my content, haven't followed me there, make sure to follow me there. The link is in the description. That said, also join the Discord server. You guys can get access to the Discord server by typing exclamation Discord in chat. Apparently that doesn't work for now. I will try looking into it, like why does that not work, what's wrong with Nightbot. That's you guys can get access to all my socials in the description, like it is stuck in the description. That said, I'll catch you guys in the next live stream or video.